So the saga of the stain colors continues. So I just got home and we're working on our back deck. Just got a bunch of pine tongue and groove, which we're going to use on the ceiling of the deck. And then have some cedar over here, and I've got some more ordered. We're going to use the cedar to wrap the posts and the beams, since they're more exposed to weather, and have that nice grain, a nice look to them. And then using the pine color matched for the ceiling, since it never gets any weather on it. And I went to Lowe's and Home Depot and tried to find some that had some decent grain pattern in it, depending on what variety they have in stock. These seem to have some nice grain. So they're going to show pretty nice. So I'm happy with that. I had looked at doing tongue and groove in the ceiling as well, but at 3 to 4 times the cost, it just didn't make sense. Once you stain it, you're not even going to notice it. So I made a video yesterday on 6 stain colors that we tested, and you can look back at that video. And then now I'm going to do this color testing. And just to recap, I did the same thing yesterday, and I'm going to take these when I'm done outside next to the ones from yesterday, so you can see those as well. But I've got one of the light colored cedar boards, one of the pinker colored cedar boards, and then I've got a board of pine. And I'm going to use each of these 6 on all 3 boards so we can see the color variation between the light, the pinker, cedar, and the light pine. And so number 1 through 6. Number 1 is going to be American Chestnut, semi-transparent Olympic Elite. Number 2 will be Chocolate, which we haven't tried a dark color like that yet, so I'm not sure how that's going to come out, but it's a semi-transparent. As you know, semi-transparents usually give a little bit more protection, just because they have more colorant in it to protect the wood. Then we have a Chocolate semi-transparent waterproofing stain penetrating oil, which is a little different than obviously water-based. And then we're going to try Canyon Brown transparent by Valspar. And then this will be the first try for some Cabot, which always has great reviews when I look at it online. I've never used it. And I got a semi-transparent stain sealer, Cordovan leather, and I also have a honey teak Australian timber oil. So these are the 6 we're going to try. Yesterday's were all in the pinker, well, not pinker, cedary, that orangey cedary family. And we're just going to go this lane here just to see if maybe what we're after is this dark one. So I'm going to get busy getting this stain on. All right, application is done. I'm letting it dry. I'm going to take it outside. And but just at first, while it's still wet, to take a look at comparisons. It's the lineup that we did. And so pine is on the top, the light colored cedar, and then the pink colored cedar is on the bottom. So you could see the comparisons kind of in color, and whether it shows grain or doesn't show grain, right? That's a difference in stains as well. So carries straight through, very similar. So this is the American Chestnut Olympic Elite is number 1. Number 2, this is the Behr Premium Semi-Transparent Chocolate, which doesn't look very chocolate to me. So that one I know is going to be an automatic no. There's no doubt about it. It's actually a very strange color. Then we have Behr Semi-Transparent Penetrating Oil Chocolate. So this is the water-based chocolate. This is the penetrating oil chocolate. Night and day, 2 totally different colors. Look at this. That's the pink cedar, and I mean, it just makes it look so rich, makes it pop right off the bat. I mean, I'm automatically drawn to that one just because of the richness of it. Number 4 is the Valspar Transparent Canyon Brown. So that's this one here, right up here. Very close to the Behr Chocolate Oil. I mean, they almost look like it looks like they're the exact same thing. So this is an oil-based. This is a water-based. Very interesting. Number 5 was the Cordovan Leather Semi-Transparent by Cabot. Very dark, definitely a brown, more chocolatey black brown than this brown that's actually American Chestnut. But those 2 are kind of fighting in that brown world, right? That one and that one. That one's definitely a more charcoaly brown. And then the last one is the Australian Timber Oil Honey Teak by Cabot. Again, nice color, man, almost the same. Look at them. Almost the same. Between these three, I don't think you could tell them in a lineup. And even here, as I'm looking at them, you know, without looking through the camera lens, the number 6 is a little lighter. This is definitely a little bit lighter than those. And so far, I mean, the oil one we know is going to take a while to dry. So it's got that, see that finish to it? Because oil always takes longer to soak in and dry up. So we'll see what that looks like once it's dry. But that's the lineup so far. And like I said, we're going to take this outside and compare it to the ones from the other day. All right, so they're mostly dry. This one is still, you can see it's still taking some time to dry all the way up, but it's almost there. I would imagine that some of that darkness is going to dissipate in a little bit of time. But this is a comparison of today's and yesterday's stains. So up there, just to recap in this video, and you can go back to the video from yesterday, that just did those 6 up there across that board. Yes, there's one missing, I know. The first one there on the end, that was Behr's transparent cedar natural tone. The next one was Behr's semi-transparent cedar natural tone. Then number 3 was Olympic Max transparent cedar natural tone. Came out really orange, and so we didn't like it, so I never even did another sample board on it. Actually, they're up in that stretch right there on that board, but anyways. The 4th one is the Olympic Max semi-transparent cedar natural tone. That's number 4. Those 2 boards, pine cedar board, right? The 5th one is the Olympic Elite semi-transparent Atlas cedar, is that one right there. And then the last one was Olympic Elite Woodland Oil Transparent Mountain Cedar, that darker color there. So that darker one there, and you can see the pine just before I move it. I mean, almost the same, almost the same. So let me move these pine boards though out of the way and slide these closer so you can see them. Just as one shot kind of color comparisons. So you could see a lot of these 2 and this one kind of similar to that one, but these are definitely redder. There's more red in the cedar type tones. Down here, you start getting into the more browners, right? Obviously this is the brown, and that's that chocolate one that I'm not a fan of. And this one is definitely like a brown, right? These are that richer, redder brown, and those get into that really cedar red. This one is actually, we keep going back to that one. That's actually a nice product right there. That's the semi-transparent cedar natural tone by Behr. Shows the grain nice, kind of a muted color. It's not too bold. I happen to like bold stuff like this, real rich. But that's like what they, you know, a safe color, right? So, but that's a comparison, guys. I hope that helps. I know cheaper has been back and forth to the store so many times. And remember, when you buy stuff at the Lowe's or Home Depot, you can return it as long as you haven't mixed a color. If it's off the shelf, you can return it. But as soon as you add a color into it, you own it. So just be careful when you're out there testing stuff. And I'll put notes on these colors in the notes just so you have it as well. So hope that helps, guys.